Hello there, and welcome. I'm Michelle, and today we're going to dive into an explainer that is honestly incredibly close to my heart. We're talking about late life real estate transitions. Making a move at this stage in your life is a huge and sometimes pretty overwhelming step. It's something that touches literally everything: your finances, your family, and your deep sense of home. So let's explore this together and see how we can make this entire journey a whole lot easier. You know, there's this specific moment that happens for so many of the homeowners I speak with. Maybe you've been turning over the idea of a move for months or maybe even years. And then, one quiet afternoon, you sit down, you open your laptop to try and figure out where to even begin, and, well, you just close it right back up again. The whole thing just feels so big and so tangled that it's incredibly hard to know which thread to pull first. If that laptop moment sounds a bit too familiar, I really want you to know something right off the bat. That feeling, it isn't a sign that you're not ready. Actually, it's a sign that you are taking this seriously, because you absolutely deserve so much more than just a standard for sale sign in the yard and a quick handshake. You deserve a transition that's handled with deep, comprehensive care from start to finish. And that brings us to the real core of today's explainer, the SRES Village. As a senior real estate specialist, my job goes way beyond simply finding a buyer for your house. It's about making sure you have comprehensive legal, financial, physical, and emotional support. That is exactly why I've built this village. It's a carefully vetted team serving Chicago and the south suburbs so that you literally never have to navigate this transition alone. Let's look at our first village member, for example, the attorney. Now, a standard real estate attorney is great for a simple, everyday sale. But when you've spent decades building a life and a legacy, you really need an elder law attorney. They look at the big picture. They understand how selling your home interacts with things like Medicaid planning and long-term care. And these are vital conversations that really must happen before you even list the house. To give you a real-world example, consider the TODI. That stands for Transfer on Death Instrument. It's a specific legal tool right here in Illinois that can actually spare your family from dragging through months of probate court after you're gone. It's the kind of thing most people don't even know exists until an elder law attorney steps in to proactively protect everything you've worked so hard to build. Okay, now here is a role most people have probably never even heard of, but let me tell you, it often makes the absolute biggest difference. I'm talking about the senior move manager. Imagine trying to decide what to do with 40 years of your life, all lived inside one house. The furniture, the old photographs, the good china you never really use but simply can't bring yourself to part with. A senior move manager helps you process all those memories thoughtfully. They don't just help you pack up boxes, they help you think. On a day-to-day basis, they're doing things like creating digital floor plans so you can see exactly what fits in your new space before a single box is even lifted. They coordinate the estate sales and the donations, but mostly, they provide incredibly patient emotional support. When a box of old, handwritten letters stops you in your tracks on a random Tuesday afternoon, they are that calm, steady voice in the room, turning an overwhelming process into manageable, gentle decisions. Next up in our village, we have the financial advisor and the CPA. Because let's face it, selling a long-held home usually means releasing a significant amount of equity. A CPA who specializes in senior transitions steps in to help maximize that equity. They expertly navigate capital gains exclusions so you keep more of your hard-earned money, which can be up to $250,000 for individuals and up to $500,000 for couples. That's a huge deal. But it's not just about the immediate sale. Have you ever considered how a large, sudden influx of cash might affect your Medicare premiums, say 2 years down the road? Most people haven't. These financial experts are looking years into the future. They flag those easily missed impacts to make sure your finances actually support the life you want to live long after closing day. Now, I should mention, not every conversation we have ends with a move. Sometimes the absolute right answer is to stay exactly where you are. And for that scenario, we have the aging in place contractor, specifically a CAPS contractor. That stands for Certified Aging in Place Specialist. They know exactly how to modify your current home so it works better for you, supporting your independence without ever sacrificing your comfort or your home's unique style. So in real life, this looks like installing beautiful, no-threshold showers, or adding grab bars that look like high-end designer fixtures. Definitely not clunky hospital equipment. Or maybe it's just relocating your laundry room to the main floor so you can avoid the stairs. I always say these are not concessions. They are confident, empowering choices that preserve your independence beautifully. Now, recommending someone to actually enter your home is not something I take lightly at all. The village vetting standard is incredibly strict. Every single professional is personally vetted on their credentials, their clear communication, and their empathy. And this is crucial. There are absolutely zero referral fees or kickbacks. Someone only earns a place on this list if I would send my own family to them without hesitation. So the core takeaway from our time today is really simple. One call, a whole village. Working with me means you are never starting from scratch. You don't have to spend weeks hunting for a trusted mover and an attorney and a CPA. You make one trusted call, and I bring in the right support for every single step of the way. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this one comforting thought. You absolutely do not have to have it all figured out today. You just have to know that when you're ready, the village is already there waiting for you. No pressure, no rush timelines. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, I'm Michelle, and I'll leave you with this final thought. When you envision your next chapter, what is the single most important thing you want to protect, and who do you want standing by your side to help you do it?